So again, I'm right back at it. This is part two. Just to get back to the message, again, I'm speaking about being tapping out of the matrix and becoming conscious of yourself, what you have to offer the world, what your purpose and destiny is. And again, tapping out of the systematic bullshit that we live. That's what it is. I'm going to go back a little bit and again speak a little bit more about being a chosen seed. It's something that I've always knew. Of course, as a child, I didn't have full understanding to what it meant. I just remember having the characteristics that made me feel like I didn't fit in. If you look up Google, wherever, what a chosen seed or a chosen person are, it'll give you the characteristics. You all need to check because you very well may be a chosen. And again, if you are, you're here on assignment. So all the other things that are going on around you, whatever job you work, none of it is important anymore, especially now because of the criticalness of the world's crashing at this time. That's what's going to happen. Again, it's just so much. I want to fit it all in. Like, we live in a design distracted world. As we all watch the Super Bowl, there was a helicopter crash. And on that helicopter was now, I'm not reading it from a screen, so I'm just going to try and put it into context again to give you guys an example of the things that goes on around us that are not even being reported and no one tells us about. This gentleman and his family were killed. He was, if I'm not mistaken, like one of the number one bankers, African bankers in Africa, or, big stuff, big. He was big. He was trying to implement and do some things that, again, was going to change some of the world system. Well, mysteriously, as we all watch the demonic ritual, this man and his family and some other people were killed in a helicopter crash. Now, have you heard about that? It's so much that they don't tell us. And if we're sitting around high and drunk, I'm not judging nobody. I like what I like too. But for right now and right here, I'd rather be clear-headed because I need to know what's going on. I want to know what's going on. I want to be driven by things, again, that needs to be changed and the things that we need to be doing. If you see me look over, I'm looking at my screen because I took notes. Again, I don't want to miss any points. I want to make sure that this is coming off. But anyway, getting back to being a chosen, just growing up, I always knew I was different. I never wanted to work for anyone else. But with that, because you are destined, there's a plot against you from the very time that you're born. When I was born, I was my mother's fifth child. I was in the hospital, or, we were in the hospital after my birth. And when they brought me to her to go home, as she prepared for me to go home, and she took my clothes, changed my clothes, whatever, she realized that she was holding a baby boy. And she said to the nurse, I had a girl, like this boy had a girl. And the nurse said, it's 1970, so think about it. The nurse said to her, oh, my apologies, I just bought the darkest baby that was in the nursery. So, again, being enlightened as a chosen, was that the first plot against me? Because, of course, if I would have been switched at birth, my life would not be what it was meant to be. And again, I wouldn't be here right now trying to wake the world up and to see what we can do again to come out of our robotism and quit living these groundhog days, to, again, wake up and want to strive for the truth and gain intellect about what's going on around us. I'm all over the place because, again, it's just so much and I want to get it all in. Like, for instance, there are laws being passed right now that are really, really scary. That's if you're scary. I'm not. But at the same time, I'm aware. I've done research and I've looked at these things, and what they're doing right now is not good. It's a lot of things going on that are very not good and that are going to affect us in a very negative way. New York State just passed a law. If I'm correct, it's like the new 2.1 law or something like that. But anyway, it gives them the right to come into anyone's home, any New York State person. They can come into your home and force you into a quarantine. They can take your children from you. Now, that's a whole nother subject, so I'm not going to go into that right now about the children. But again, another thing to be enlightened about, there are kids that go missing every single day. And there are real evidenced things that are happening to these children. And again, we're not paying attention. We're distracted by things like Valentine's Day. How made up and corny is that shit? You know what I'm saying? That's just a marketing plan. First of all, the majority of us is so broken and unwilling to heal, we'll never have a healthy relationship. But here we are on February 14th, professing our undying love and going out and spending money. We got to stop somewhere. And if I got to be the one to stand up and sound crazy and, people have come against me all my life, so that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is the fact that I got the guts and courageousness to sit here and tell the truth. That's what's important to me. Time out for all the other stuff. In my life, y'all need to start saying this in your own life. I don't ever want to come off judgmental again. My job is just to enlighten, to hope that people hear me, and to hope that, it drives people to want to know the truth. So, again, I can't say it enough. Just time to wake up. Time to be about something. As far as, another thing that drove me, I could hear someone preparing for work this morning. And that's what woke me up. Like, I woke up and just the sound of that same groundhog robotism, steps to get dressed. And then only to go to a job. They got us set up, y'all. Only to go to a job where you don't even get paid enough to really do what you want to do. That's most of us, And when people used to say to me, oh, you're lazy, you don't want to work, my thing was always, it's not about that. It just sounds crazy to me that I'm going to go somewhere and work my hardest, work to the bone. First of all, they don't care about you. If you die sitting in that chair, they're going to replace you by Monday. They don't care. They give your family whatever little 401k or insurance that you have with them, and they're going to keep it moving. Because what's not going to stop for them is their money. So they don't care enough about you. They care about the money. I don't care what company you work for. Look around. We see it going on. But again, things are crumbling around us. And I'm just so passionate, almost to the point where I'm getting a little bit angry that so many of us are still sitting here just, again, unconscious, not even trying to tap in or wake up or, come on. Like, it's getting just, I'm upset about it. We got kids, grandkids, we got to try to make a better world for them. This is coming down. And if, again, you look around, your money ain't safe right now. The food we eat is poison. We know the pharmaceutical companies is the biggest drug dealers ever to exist. Why they get away with it? They send pretty blonde white girls with a sandwich tray. And that's how they pump their drugs. Wake up. Tired. But again, I'm going to keep driving with my messages. Again, every time I'm enlightened, I'm going to carry that enlightenment. Again, that's purpose. I need you guys to hear me. We've been, again, programmed to believe so many things that are not true about ourselves, about this society. They don't care about us. They don't. Don't nothing move for them but the money. We got to be real about that. And if we're not waking up and tapping into our own consciousness, we're going to leave here like that. I refuse to do it. I don't know the stopping, so I'm going to start again. This is part 2. I'm going to do part 3.